SpaceX is planning to take over. This is something that has been in the works for years, and it has not been done in secret either. It is kind of hard not to see what SpaceX has been doing, but still, it can be a bit of a challenge to really understand everything that is going on right now with SpaceX, and things only get crazier from here. All in all, the first big push that SpaceX will be making in their takeover is a dramatic increase in launch frequency with both their Falcon and Starship rocket systems. Here's a look at SpaceX launching Falcon, times they are launching, times they will be launching more than times. Do you know how many rockets are launched worldwide, making SpaceX responsible for more than half of all space missions worldwide? You can already call it a takeover. And on December 11th, Elon Musk wrote that there will probably be more than 50 Falcon launches, which is one rocket launch every 2 days. This is largely made possible by the Falcon rocket boosters continuing to improve their reusability. SpaceX is currently flying missions from a single rocket booster with the thrust to take it as high as a mission per booster, and they have a turnaround time from landing to reuse down to as short as a few weeks. Now, it's still not fully reusable, but it means SpaceX can fly more missions per year without having to build more rockets, which means costs go down and profits go up. This is an efficiency exercise that will set the tone for everything that's to come for SpaceX in the future. Now, on the subject of fully and rapidly reusable, that's where the Starship program comes in. This is truly the future of SpaceX, a rocket that is still very much in development, but has already performed some of the most astonishing feats of science and engineering. And once Starship is fully operational, it could easily surpass Falcon in terms of launch frequency, while at the same time carrying 5 times more payload to orbit with each launch. We saw Starship fly on 2 occasions and both times explode. We not only saw the rocket fly a total of 4 times without exploding, we saw it land successfully in the most amazing way. The super heavy booster was caught by a pair of robotic chopstick arms attached to the mega-constellation tower, and then the ship stage made a perfect and controlled water landing over the Indian Ocean. Now for us to join, the second achievement is the first orbital return and capture of the tower from an upper stage ship. And SpaceX will have plenty of opportunities to perfect this art, as they are seeking approval for launch and landing at their Starbase facility in South Texas. So we have gone from twice a year to twice a month. And don't forget, this is the biggest rocket ever built, and it's only getting bigger. SpaceX will be pushing their spacecraft higher and faster than ever before. To get back to the launch site from space, the ship will have to complete a full orbit around the Earth. What we have seen so far is more like 1/3 of orbit, with the ship landing just west of Australia. So this means that when the ship finally comes back through the atmosphere, it will produce even more heat and hot red plasma. Then Starship will fly over Mexico as it gradually glides lower and lower until it is right above Starbase Texas. From here, the engines will reignite, the rocket will flip over, and then it will descend gracefully to the waiting mega-constellation arm. That's the idea, at least. SpaceX has never failed on the first try before. Success is far from certain, but excitement is guaranteed. Now, if that wasn't enough, there is another giant milestone coming up for SpaceX and Starship in orbital refueling. It is important to know that because Starship is so big, it can only reach relatively low orbit with 1 tank of gas. So to go anywhere above Earth, like the Moon or Mars, it would need to be refueled in space. So to achieve orbital refueling, SpaceX would need to dock 2 Starships together as they fly around the Earth at speeds of over 27,000 kilometers per hour. Sounds difficult, and it is, but to be fair, we dock spacecraft to the ISS all the time, so this isn't a completely new idea. But also, at the same time, we've never done cryogenic fuel transfer in orbit before. Starship uses liquid methane and oxygen as propulsion, mostly oxygen, and liquid propellant will not evaporate due to the heat from the sun. If it gets too hot and starts to boil inside the spacecraft tanks, then the gas needs to be vented or the rocket will explode, like when your pot of water boils on the stove. So this makes the orbital refueling maneuver a 2-stage problem. 1, you need to get the 2 giant spacecraft connected very gently without them colliding. Then, you need to move this very cold and volatile liquid between them. To help them accomplish this crazy feat, SpaceX has a new and improved version of Starship that will start flying in the Starship Mark B block. This new spacecraft is a little bit longer, which is a change that has been made to stretch the fuel tanks and allow the spacecraft to carry more payload to higher altitudes than before. So the other thing we are looking for is the first payload that will be used by Starship, which will most likely